Are you serious? Azodicarbonamide. Say it with me. Azodicarbonamide. One more time. Azodicarbonamide. Well, you've been eating it. It's in almost all the bread. Not all the bread, but a lot of breads. A lot of restaurant breads. And now Subway, who's the largest sandwich maker in the world, has decided to take azodicarbonamide out of their bread because it could cause cancer. Really? What? Well, because it does in rats. But just don't relax. All it is a chemical that makes the bread expand, gives it elasticity. They use the same chemical in yoga mats and the soles of shoes, and can also make synthetic rubber and leather with it. What? CNN helps report on this. I'll give you all the details. They're a little fluffy, puffy. I'll give you the facts. Here we go.
The world's largest sandwich chain this morning. This is a wild story. Subway announced it's removing a controversial chemical from its bread, an additive that's found in shoe soles and yoga mats to add elasticity. The ingredient, which is banned in Europe and Australia, it was first called into question by a popular food blogger who had pushed to have it removed. Senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen is at the CNN Center with much more on this. Elizabeth, what is this chemical we're talking about?
Kate, the chemical is called azodicarbonamide, and it's used to make the bread stronger, to strengthen the bread. And Subway says, hey, it's safe, and they point out that the Food and Drug Administration says that it's safe, but Subway says that they are removing it as part of their bread improvement process.
It's safe?
Quote, end quote.
End quote. Is this a very unusual case that this chemical is found in this bread? Is it found in other foods? I've never heard of it before.
Right. You probably haven't heard of it because you probably don't sit there and read the whole ingredients listing like most people don't. It's found in all sorts of breads, grocery store breads, restaurant breads. And, it's very hard to say, is it bad for you? Isn't it bad for you?
It's not hard to say!
Interest took a look and they said, you know what? In mice, it appears to be a carcinogen, but in humans, the increased risk of cancer is, they use words like slight, they use words like negligible, so they don't seem terribly worried about this, but the Center for Science and the Public Interest does say, let's get it out of breads.
Let's get it out of the breads is right. You're not too worried about it? See, this is the thing. The United States federal government and the agencies involved to help keeping you safe are worthless. I'll just say that again. I didn't stutter. They're worthless. It's all about getting their palms greased by big corporate America. But God bless Subway, because once Subway realized that azodicarbonamide can kill you, did you know? Well, let me give you the facts. Here's what Subway is saying. Subway is saying, we're already in the process of removing this azodicarbonamide as part of our bread improvement efforts, despite the fact that it is a USDA and FDA-approved ingredient. Now, Subway said in a statement, the complete conversion to have this product out of the bread will be done soon. The controversial chemical has been used by commercial bakers for the purpose of strengthening the dough, but has been poorly tested, according to the Center for Science in the Public Interest. Now, this report is done by CNN.com, but the lady that really exposed this poisonous chemical that you're eating in your bread, no wonder Jesus said there's tares among the wheat. It's two different ways it's happening. You got, they're altering the DNA, they're genetically changing the DNA of the seed of the wheat to where it has 90% of its nutrients are no longer in there. But they're putting inside its DNA makeup a insect repellent to keep the insects away, but it's taking away your vitamins that you vitally need. And then after this re-engineered DNA, chemically enhanced wheat makes it to the manufacturers, then they add azodicarbonamide and other stuff in there. No wonder the snow don't melt. No wonder. Are you serious? Maybe you can wash it down with some chemical water from West Virginia. breathe in some South Carolina nuclear plume air, and then go fishing with a snack from Subway off the San Francisco Bay, sitting by the dock of the bay, hoping the bread don't blow me away. I mean, are you serious? So, what's in it, Paul? What is this stuff? Well, I want to, foodbabe.com, www.foodbabe.com actually breaks this thing down. Azodicarbonamide is a yellow-orangish powder. All right? It's more commonly used commercially in the creation of foamed plastics like yoga mats, shoe soles, floor mats, and window gaskets. A tasket. They put this stuff in the baskets and the gaskets. But then it says that the FDA, though, allows it, the food companies, to use this azodicarbonamide as a flour bleaching agent and dough conditioner in any food product given its status of GRAS, or gradually regarded as safe. Gradually. But the FDA doesn't even keep track of what people are doing with it, of the companies and who use azodicarbonamide as an ingredient. The lack of information leads the FDA to not update or include a toxicity information about this ingredient or everything added to food in the United States database. They don't have to put it in there. When a truck carrying azodicarbonamide overturned on a Chicago highway in 2001, it prompted city officials to use the highest hazmat material alert and evacuate people within a half-a-mile radius of this turned over truck. Don't worry, they got the rest of it to one of the bread makers, and you had it on one of your, you had it with your dinner. All right, it is a eye and skin irritation, but it also can create lots of burning. Also, the UK has recognized I'm tired of saying it. That's really the word. They recognized it as a potential cause of asthma, and if inhaled, and advises against its use in people who have sensitivity to food, dye allergies, or other common allergies in food, because it can just make the symptoms worse. So the World Health Organization, I love these guys, they studied azodicarbonamide and also linked it to asthma and other allergenic reactions. And when azodicarbonamide particularly degrades with the heat of processing, it forms trace amounts of semicarbazide, which shows carcinogens in the food that results in tumors over time. So the United States is one of the only countries in the world that allows this ingredient to be in the food. It's banned in most nations. It's banned in the UK. It's banned in all of Europe. It's banned in Australia. And if you get caught using it in Singapore, you can get up to 15 years in prison and a $45,000 fine. Agenda 21. Georgia Guidestone's World Global Elitist Plan to softly, they're killing us softly with their bread. They're killing us softly. I mean, that's what's happening. Are you saved? Let me ask you a question. You say, Paul, why would you bring all this up? Well, because it's part of the end time signs. I mean, the agenda of the New World Order is depopulation. And they can do it many different ways. Kill you softly, re-engineer the bread and food supply, poison you gradually. And that will maybe they know the statistics, how many people die of cancer, how many people die of heart conditions. They know how many people and how fast they can peel some of these folks away if they allow it to happen. I'm just saying. And then you have to worry about the fact that There's so many people that aren't saved. They put their faith in whatever the doctor says, whatever the scientist says, whatever the pharmaceutical company says, whatever the FDA, USDA approves says. I mean, really, you should find you some good Amish families and see if you can buy your vegetables and your meats from them. True, organic, God-fearing people. Seriously, if you can. Give your life to Jesus Christ. This is the last days.